Hello kids, today's episode we're going to go ahead and get that Deathclaw Omelet recipe we found here in Sloan. So you're going to want to go in this little shack here and you're going to want to talk to Jas Wilkins.
Morning. Let me ask you a question. What's the tastiest thing you've ever eaten?
Anything that wasn't made over 200 years ago.
Yeah, can you believe some people still eat that stuff? Anyway, I've got this recipe for a Deathclaw omelet that I've been itching to try out. Trouble is, I need a Deathclaw egg. Kinda obvious, I suppose.
Where did you come up with that recipe, woman?
My great-aunt Rose ran a bed and breakfast back in California, in a town called Modoc. She's the one who created the recipe in the first place. I don't know how she managed to get a hold of a female Deathclaw, but she kept it in a shed. Aunt Rose had a steady supply of eggs for her omelets. At least, she did until some stranger came along and killed the Deathclaw, shot it right in the eye.
Where could I find me one of those Deathclaw eggs?
The quarry just north of here is full of Deathclaws, so there's bound to be an egg or two in there somewhere. Of course, a Deathclaw egg from anywhere will do. According to my Aunt Rose, those things have a ridiculously long shelf life.
I bet. Hey, what are you offering in exchange for one of these Deathclaw eggs?
I don't have much in the way of money, but I'd be willing to share the secret of the recipe.
Whoa, you'd be willing to share that secret recipe with me? I'm in.
All right.
Real quick, I have some questions.
Sure. What did you want to know?
I noticed you don't really look like a quarry worker.
Oh, I'm not. I'm making my way to New Vegas. They say anything goes there. And best of all, the NCR can't mess it up for you. I'll get there eventually. I've heard that you can't even get into the Strip unless you're rich.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. Are you from California like me?
Born and raised. Things back in California are better than they've ever been, according to my grandpa. The raiders are mostly gone now, and it's easy enough to get a job at one of the mills or farms. But now there's taxes and laws and other things. The NCR keeps things safe and orderly, but it's all very boring. So I came out east, towards the frontier.
Makes sense. Well, thanks for the info. I guess it's time for me to get going, and I'll be back with that Deathclaw eggs and 2 shakes of a Brahmin's tail.
All right, then.
So your boy Lee Man decided to go ahead and take Jas's advice and go down to Quarry Junction and find me that Deathclaw egg. It's mighty dangerous around these parts, so you gotta definitely watch out, and I highly suggest you get that sneak ability as high as you possibly can, and maybe even have you a few stealth boys handy, because it is crawling with Deathclaw critters. But they're no match for your boy Lee Man. I'm gonna get me that goddamn Deathclaw recipe if it's the last thing I do. So I headed on around these rocks slowly as best as I could, up this side up here, and eventually down below there's a little cave with some Deathclaw eggs in it, right around here. There we go. Come to daddy. That one completed, and I completed it for another quest, for Red Lucy's quest. But I went ahead and gave the egg to her so I could receive that recipe. Here you go, Jas.
What's new?
So remember that Deathclaw egg omelet recipe you told me about?
Yeah?
Well, your boy's got that egg right here just for you. You hand over that recipe.
I can't believe you actually got one. Give me a bit to get the recipe set up, then talk to me again.
So I sped up the time and let a few hours go by.
This is incredibly good. Here's your omelet, and the recipe if you ever want to make your own. It takes a bit of skill to get it tasting right.
And now we got the recipe. Thank you so much, Miss Jas. I'll be on my way.
Sure thing. Give me a shout if you need anything else. All right, then.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on my next adventure.